what's up? So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my everyday makeup routine. I haven't filmed one of these in a minute. I want to say the last one I filmed was probably like 2023. This routine takes me anywhere from 10 minutes, I like to think, to like an hour. 10 minutes, like really rushed, it looks bad, we're late. It takes me an hour if I wanted to look absolutely perfect. Like, I'm really taking my time. It has to be like a perfect makeup day. Today, I'm shooting for like the middle of that, maybe like 30 minutes. To start off, let me tell you kind of what I'm working with here. So I have a rounder face. My cheeks, my nose are both on the rounder side. So I try to do some contouring, just Cancer rising things. If astrology is fake, why do all Cancer risings look like this? Cancer, the moon, we look like the moon, so I try to cancel out as much roundness here as I can. In terms of my skin type, I have combination oily skin, which isn't really a problem when it comes to my makeup, just because I like a more natural glowy type base. The only place it is a problem or like a challenge is underneath my eyes. I am working with some discoloration around my eyes. I layer a few different products to try and cover up that discoloration, but that combined with my skin type and also just having more wrinkles underneath my eyes naturally, I end up with a lot of creasing. So those are kind of the things I'm trying to target, I guess, like my problem areas, just the things that I'm trying to help myself out with when it comes to my makeup. So let's get into the routine. Okay, first up for primer, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Primer is one of those things that I really don't feel like you need a super high-end one. I know this one gets compared to the like Milk Primer a lot, but this one I feel like is just as good, if not better, and a fraction of the price. So I always go with the e.l.f. one. So like I said, I do deal with that discoloration around my eyes, and I was really trying to avoid like buying another makeup product just for this and like incorporating a whole other step into my routine, but nothing else was working, so I ended up using a color corrector. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Corrector in the shade Pink Pomelo. If I was going to get a whole other product for this, it was really important for me not to have to worry about creasing. There is still a little creasing, I'm not going to say there's none, but it's very minimal. I feel like it makes sense that this is such a good product because I find that most people talking about discoloration around their eyes are also like other brown women, and Huda Beauty is a brown woman, like Huda herself. I think she's from Iraq, I want to say, so she gets it. I let that sit for a second, and then I go in with a pressed powder puff. This is like my new favorite thing to blend my makeup with. Like Beauty Blender, no. This one is perfect for me just because I use a lot of cream products, so I feel like it's really like pressing them all into my skin. So let's go in. You can already see the magic happening. You can already see Miss Huda Beauty doing her thing. So you can already see I'm working with a much more even base now. The discoloration is a little bit less noticeable, and it's the perfect base to put my concealer on top of. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the Hourglass Vanish Concealer in the shade Drift. I've tried a lot of concealers. I have beef with a lot of concealers, and this one is my favorite by far. It is a long list of things I'm asking a concealer to do. It has to not crease, it has to be high coverage, it needs to be long lasting but not cakey. It's a lot, but this one, it goes, no, you're not asking for too much, and it does all of it. So this one is my favorite. So we're gonna go in where most of that discoloration is, and that's gonna be in the inner pockets of the eyes. I don't do too much because I don't want to drag my face down with concealer, and because it is high coverage, we also don't need too much. Other than that, I go on the outer corners a little bit, and that's it for the eyes. I go down the nose in usually much straighter fashion than that. Forehead, nose, philtrum, vocabulary, and the chin, and that's it. Then we're gonna go back in with that pressed powder puff and just blend it all out. I like leaving my under eyes for last just so it has a little bit of time to set, but if I leave it for too long, then it gets cakey and it's just really hard to blend. So it's such a science. That's why I can take up to an hour doing this. Like if I have the time, and the discoloration gone, mostly gone. I feel like there's a limit, you know, these makeup products, they don't work magic, okay? But this, it really does help a lot, and it makes me feel a lot better about those dark circles. Okay, next I'm just brushing my eyebrows out with the spoolie before I go in with my brow gel. I probably Should have plucked these before this video, but it's alright. It's okay. I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Volumizing Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Dark Brown. This brow gel is kind of like a replacement for the old one they used to have that I really liked. That one is discontinued or something. I don't know. It was their Dip Brow Gel. I love that one. It was the best of both worlds. It had the like grip and power of like the old pot of Dip Brow with the brush I used to use in like college, but then it was just easy and portable like this little brow gel. I don't know why they discontinued it. This one is just a bit more of a like natural finish, which isn't a bad thing. It still is like a good brow gel, but I would be tempted to switch over to something different if you guys have any ricks. So I run that through the like last 2/3 of my brows. I don't like to put a lot of product in the center because I hate like a really blocky, dark center of your brows, like right here. I like to keep that very soft and feathered. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to be carving them out. I feel like carving out your brows is a underrated and essential step. So to carve out my brows, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade 115. There's something about this concealer. There is something about this concealer. I have tried to carve out my brows with like my Hourglass or like any other high-end concealer that I've purchased. No, only this one, only Maybelline. The only use I have for this product is to carve out my brows, and I keep repurchasing it just to carve out my brows. It is that serious. I don't know what it is. This one is just perfect every single time. I'm using this random dual end Eco Tools brush, but you just need like a flat topped brush, and then you're just gonna go in and carve them out. This part, very simple, very self-explanatory. You're literally just tracing your eyebrows with the concealer you have on that brush, and it makes them look just so much cleaner. And then I'm going in again with that pressed powder puff to blend out the concealer. I've gotten these in a bunch of places. I've gotten them at Ross, I've gotten them off of Amazon. They sell like big packs of them. And then when they get dirty, I just throw them in with my laundry, like my underwear and socks. And then they're completely reusable. So I'm a big fan of these. When we get to the center of my brows, I just like to tap those gently just to get a soft feathered look. Again, I don't like when they're super blocky in the middle. Okay, next we're getting into contouring. I use a Fenty Beauty Match Stix in the shade Amber Suede. I've been using the Fenty Beauty Match Stix for contouring since I started contouring. Like this is just, it's a tried and true. Because of my round face, I really think about the placement of my contour. Before I would put it lower on my face right here and kind of the hollows of my cheeks. Now I go a little bit higher, almost to the cheekbone, like just beneath it, and it does help with lifting my face a bit more. That's the cheeks. Then I'm gonna go down my nose, just down the bridge. I don't do anything fancy here. I don't even do the like line in the middle here. I just don't think it looks good with my nose shape, but I do go underneath here. And then to blend that all out, I have two different products I use. I use the pressed powder puff and then also a little kabuki brush. The kabuki brush is for my cheeks, the pressed powder puff is for my nose, but I just go in and blend it upwards because we don't want to drag the face down, and just up into my hairline on either side. And then I go in with the pressed powder puff on my nose. I do try to blend the product upwards towards the center of the bridge just to get a more slender, snatched look for my nose. Next for blush, I'm going to be using the Saie Dew Blush in the shade Dreamy. If you're one of those people who's always talking about blush blindness, this is not a safe space for you. Like, get out of here with that. I love blush. I've only grown to love it more during all this blush blindness discourse. So maybe I am one of those people. I just love a bold blush look, but I don't think it's too much. I really don't. So I'm just gonna go in, do two little dots right there, one little dot right there. It's just a little dot. To blend it out, I'm just gonna be going in with that same kabuki brush that I used for my contour, which I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I'm just such a do my makeup on the go kind of girl that I can't be carrying around a bunch of different brushes. So this, it does it all, and I need it to. Same thing with all our products. We are blending upwards into the hairline to lift the face. Then we're gonna blend the nose. I like to just keep that product right on the tip of my nose. I find that it kind of acts like a contour. Like I said, I don't like putting that line right here when I do my nose contour. I just think it looks weird on my nose shape. But I find that doing my blush like this kind of acts as the contour. So I just keep it kind of to this one area on the button of my nose. I know this looks scary, okay? I know the blush blindness brigade is like pounding down my door right now. We're not done. We're not done. Hold on. I'm going back in with this Hourglass concealer, and we're just going to put a little bit on either side of the nose. This is going to do two things. It's going to help contour, and it's also going to calm down that blush. Press powder puff again. We're going to go in and keep it kind of flush to the nose, just the base of it right there, and then bring it outwards underneath our eyes, just to brighten those up again a little bit. We're just really focusing on this area right here, and that's where I'm keeping the product to the most. Maybe this is still too much blush for a lot of you. I hear the brigade. I hear them with their torches and their pitchforks, and I'm scared, guys. Feel free to make your own everyday makeup routine video, okay? This is mine, and I feel like once I do the rest of my makeup, it really doesn't look that crazy. So last step of our base routine is gonna be highlight. I use the Merit Beauty Day Glow in the shade Cava. I don't do much that's revolutionary here. The only thing that I have incorporated more recently is Sabrina Carpenter's like highlighting method. She has around her face, she has chubbier cheeks. I'm now wondering if she's a Cancer rising, but she just highlights her face in a way that I think is really flattering on her, so I thought it would look flattering on me, and I really like it. So instead of just keeping the highlight over here on like my cheekbones, I bring it into the front parts of my face a little bit, so that when the light is hitting me at the front, we're still getting that glowy look right here in the cheeks, and it's actually drawing attention more to the center of the face instead of the outside, or like the outside edges of my face, which can actually make it look whiter. Besides that, pretty standard. It's just gonna be under my brow bones, right there in my philtrum, a little bit on the tip of the nose, a little bit on the bridge. And then this is the easiest product for me to blend out because I just go in with my fingers. But that's it for the base routine. Other than that, for my everyday makeup, I just have mascara and then my lip combo. For my eyes, I like to use the Milani Highly Rated Tubing Mascara. One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about like my problem areas is I do have pretty straight lashes. So a good eyelash curler and then a good mascara that will hold a curl is very important for me. I did use this video as an excuse to get a new Tweezerman eyelash curler because mine was like super old and crusty. So we got a new fresh one, and then I have my Milani Tubing Mascara. This one is probably the best mascara I've ever tried. And I feel like I've said that about a few mascaras. Specifically in my everyday makeup routine videos, I'm pretty sure I've said every single mascara is my holy grail mascara. But this one, guys, this one, actually, like for real this time. Okay, but there's mascara. Here it is a little closer, a little too close for comfort, but it's just my favorite mascara. I think it's perfect. Okay, last step for my makeup is going to be my lip combo. I use a lip liner and a lip gloss. This is the Merit Beauty Shade Slick in the shade Pink Beet, and then the Colourpop Lippie pencil in a shade that has since rubbed off. I couldn't tell you. Your guess is really as good as mine. Nothing fancy here. I don't have the skill set to overline my lips, and I like my Cupid's bow, so we just do the natural shape. Lip gloss going on. I love these ones. They're just the most hydrating, not sticky, but pretty and like natural looking lip glosses ever. Like, I just love the Merit Beauty Shade Slick. Out of all these products, I think this is the one that I've repurchased the most, besides like my primer. But this, it's so good. I've tried so many different shades too, and it continues to be my favorite. Okay, last step, I'm going in with the One Size Until Dawn setting spray. This is my favorite setting spray in some ways and my least favorite in other ways. If you've tried this, you know spraying it on your face feels like someone is torturing you for government secrets. It feels like you are about to get waterboarded, or maybe the electric chair. It is so just chemically intense, but the way it puts your makeup to your face and it does not move, there's a reason. Like it all, it's really like, maybe I'm being dramatic. I'm being dramatic, but it is like a lot. It's very intense. Okay, perfect. We're good, we're good. But that is it. That is my everyday makeup routine. I've been really liking it. I feel like it's a good mix of like high-end and drugstore. It lasts me all day, and I feel like it is targeting all the like problem areas I was saying earlier. I feel like the sun's gone down a little bit. Does the light help? Does it help? So you can see it a little bit better. no more light. Okay, that was a lot. If you guys have any recommendations for different products I should be using based on the things I was saying I struggle with, please let me know. I'm always trying to find the best of the best, and we're still trying to find the like holy grail makeup routine. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave me a like and a comment to let me know. Be sure to subscribe and hit the post notification bell if you haven't yet. But I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.